Welcome to Innovating Clinical Trials, the podcast designed for clinical research professionals eager to deepen their understanding of clinical trials through concise, insightful segments. Join your hosts, Liam Eves and Ted Trafford, as they uncover the core issues in clinical research, reflect on the industry, and challenge conventional wisdom.
Ted, hello, sir. How are you?
Liam, I'm doing great. How are you?
I am so good, although I must say that I started something called German volume training. Have you ever heard of it?
No.
Right.
What's that?
I think it's punishment for something I've done in a past life. So
Okay.
my trainer decided, I do a lot of weightlifting, and my trainer decided to do something called German volume training, which is essentially you just do a lot of volume of the same exercise. So at 6 o'clock this morning, UK time, I was squatting 100 kilos, 225 pounds, which is not a lot, but I had to do 10 sets of 10 reps of them. And at 6 o'clock in the morning, you just want to vomit. Like, oh God.
What a great way to start your day.
As my dad said to me once, he said that I came back from the gym once and looking a bit pasty and sick. He said, the nice thing is, Liam, is that everything looks like bright and dandy from here on out because your day can't get any worse than what it's just got.
So you didn't skip leg day is what you're telling me.
I never skip leg day. Never skip leg day. So yes, I usually stand a lot of time for our conversation but I can't do that anymore today. Yeah. How are things over your side?
Yeah, things are good here. Yeah, it's funny because it's winter. Like we're full on winter. We got snow.
Nice.
But the topic we're going to talk about today is more of a springtime thing. So maybe in my mind, I was just thinking about how we needed to put winter behind us already and focus on spring. So yeah, like did you ever blow the seeds on a dandelion head and then watch the wind carry them away?
Absolutely. Great.
You have dandelions in the UK?
Oh, we have so many of them.
Did your dad ever yell at you for spreading dandelion seeds around the backyard?
Yeah. Probably, yeah. Actually, I should imagine. Yeah, his lawn was pristine.
Was it?
Anything to destroy that would have been worse than German volume. Yeah, would have been worse than German volume training.
Okay. Go pick up each individual seed and put it back. Awesome. Yeah, so when I was thinking about this and just that visual, it's how sponsors are approaching the whole building relationships with clinical trial sites.
Right.
And they start building this site relationship team and then send them out to connect with the sites and be point of escalation for the sites and really hope for the best. And I think that these teams are extremely valuable.
Yeah.
So I just want to say that at the outset. But a lot of their time, I think, is spent helping sites fix problems. And there's a really significant need for these teams. But I think building relationships with sites must be really thoughtful, purposeful, and turning the attention outwards, like spreading the dandelion seeds. That's great. But there needs to be a lot of effort to look inwards to prevent and solve issues before they start. So one of the things I was thinking about in this context was, like, if you think right at the very beginning of clinical trials, typically the first step is to put non-disclosure agreement in place. Yeah. And the non-disclosure agreement is typically either a one-way agreement or there's a confidentiality statement that the investigator is required to accept before completing the feasibility. Yeah. And so here's the problem. The agreements are one way and designed to protect the sponsor's confidential information. That's great. But often they come at some risk to the sites to accept them as they are. And if the sponsor intends to collect information about the site, their patient population, processes, inspection findings, the agreement really should be a mutual agreement. And these agreements need to be updated for the current reality of computer systems. So as an example, most of these agreements will state that upon sponsor request, the site will return or destroy all confidential information. But the reality is, and you think about how computers function now, a lot of times the instant you receive something and it's put into a company system, backups are created and audit trails and everything. So you really can't purge that information. And in addition to that, in order to actually show compliance with confidentiality agreement and the requirements and restrictions contained in there, you need to be able to retain a copy to show that when I received it, what I did with it, and how it was protected and how I complied with the agreement. So most sponsors accept changes once you point them out, but why not build agreements with these things already in place? So that you don't have to have a lengthy negotiation that just delays feasibility.
Something popped into my a story popped into my head then when you was talking about that, is that it feels like we were actually in the States visiting family, and we're going to the airport, right? And so we're driving down the road to the airport. We're about to get there, and there's a sign there. And there's it says, wait for the person on the whatever side to go around a roundabout. And I'm sat there in the car with the driver. There's no roundabout. So what had happened? So I asked him, what has happened? Why is there a sign for a roundabout? He said, there used to be one. There's no need. There's no need to stop anymore because there's no roundabout, because they've changed the road systems. And I think that sometimes, to your point around, we go along with these processes just because they're in situ and it's a tick in the box, without actually thinking about the consequences of, if we make a change, what is the impact of that change, and what do we need to change as part of our systems and processes and things like that as an update. And to me, that was like so much about human nature, right? That was like, okay, we have to look at those like consequences of the thing that we do, because it is going to impact. And like you're saying, is that sometimes that they can be resolved relatively simply if you just solve it at the root problem, which is whether it's the contractual conversations around things like copies and what have you. It makes life a little bit easier.
Hey everyone, Ted Trafford here. Innovating Clinical Trials isn't just a podcast, it's a conversation. And Liam and I want to hear from you. If you work for a sponsor or CRO and you've tried something new to overcome a recruitment challenge, whether it scaled beautifully or taught you hard lessons, we want to hear about it. Let's learn from each other and push this industry forward together. Find me on LinkedIn, Ted Trafford, and send me a message. That being said, on with the show. At each step in the clinical trial process, there's examples like this where we need to step back and say, what are the needs versus what is actually being achieved? And how much time is it costing us by having this requirement?
Absolutely.
And we could do it for feasibility. We could do it for site startup. We could do that for the recruitment period and all the things that sites go through, the various vendors, the portal issues, and really examine how we can prevent these issues that the site relationship teams have to deal with. And again, just going back, I think these teams are fantastic and they're making progress, but I think we need to help them out. And there needs to be somebody in leadership at the pharmaceutical company or the CRO that's saying, okay, here's all the issues that the site relationship teams are dealing with, and let's look to try and address them so that we prevent these issues in the first place.
What if you were to say, are there like one or two like that if you could wave a magic wand, or what are the one or two biggest challenges that you see that you'd love to have resolved?
A lot of times, so I hear a lot of things relating to lab issues, and whether that's receiving supplies or whether that's samples that the lab is saying, oh, we never received the sample, and yet they produced a report on part of the lab tests, and lots of issues with the labs being a lot more difficult in clinical trial setting than they really need to be, and then having to escalate those things to your site relationship partner and say, hey, I've had to repeat these samples this many times for our candidates or participants, and the participants in studies will only do that so much before they just say, yeah, I'm not doing this anymore. And then it affects recruitment, it affects motivation at the site, and if there's too many problems with the labs, they'll just turn their attention elsewhere. So solving that, and then the other is portal access and issues.
Yeah.
That's a constant one. And I know everybody talks about that. But it is a real concern at sites. And I think sponsors need to collect information about who the good vendors are and learn who they are, and then try and prioritize their use in studies and identify the ones that just aren't performing and avoid them.
Yeah.
Because it just creates so many issues.
Yeah. No, and I agree completely, because a lot of the times you putting these portals in place and you're not actually the main user of them, right? It's the sites, which is problematic. They should almost be, I think that you can solve a lot of problems with the right incentives or the right, I like the idea of you've got to eat your own cooking, right? Is that...
Oh, I love that. We should do an episode just on that.
Yeah, no, we will do. Absolutely. Yeah. Let's do that. I think that'd be good.
Yeah. Awesome.
Love it.
Hopefully, when spring wakes up in the UK, you have a weed-free lawn like your dad used to.
Yeah, so do I. Thank you,
Thanks,
sir.
Liam.
Cheers. Bye.